Now, I got to ask you about the blacklist and that stuff. You were one of those. You joined the Communist Party for a while, huh?
Yeah.
What for? What was the appeal of it? See, because I was...
Oh, Tom, the appeal was manifold. To begin with, I'd just come out of a rather, if you can so describe, a couple of years in World War II, really rather... at least by comparison, I was in the Marine Corps, but I was attached to the OSS. I was in Yugoslavia.
You wanted to get the hell out of Hollywood, didn't you?
Well, yeah, but also
you
when I got in the Marine Corps, I wanted to get the hell out of the
REAL.
Pacific, you see. I wanted to appear to be tough, so I got in the Marine Corps, having been through a parachute school in England, all this stuff, and then I got back in the OSS, and I got myself in Yugoslavia, and we had quite a time. And I ended up with the most profound admiration for the partisans. And I began to read and think, really, for the first time about all these things. I came back into Hollywood, and it was a twofold thing that I enjoyed. One was part of me really believed in the idea that these people were fighting for something that was damn well worth fighting for, which I still believe in. Not necessarily limited to these people. I said the Communists. The Communist Party in the United States at that time. I admired very much. I admired the fact that so many of them had fought in Spain. Let's face it, so many of them had fought on the waterfront in San Francisco. I don't know if how many of Harry Bridges' boys were ever in the party, but let's face it, they were pretty radical, you know. And I also enjoyed, now we get to the human frailty, I enjoyed the fact that I could go to dinner parties in Beverly Hills and begin talking this way, you know what I mean? I didn't come out and say I was in the party, but anyway, I was for a while. And I got out, I must say, quite candidly, primarily because I'm not a man who can take discipline. And the very idea that they're saying to me, well, okay, the next mayor is saying to the group that I was with, the next meeting will be at 7:30 at so-and-so's house in Laurel Canyon, Thursday. The first thing I thought was, well, you know what, I don't want to go next Thursday. How do I know where I want to be? That was part of it. So I split. And then, you know, the whole thing started with the investigations.
What went on at the meetings?
Actually, it was a very convoluted effort on the part of these people. I was with a backlot group.
You see, if you listen to the FBI, they'll say that at these meetings they plot the overthrow of the government.
Well, of course, but no, I think we've all become a bit more sophisticated now, haven't we? I mean, I think on every level there's an understanding in a way that, because it was never proven that they were doing any such a bloody thing. You know, what this group that I was with was concerned with was trying to get a better deal for the carpenters primarily, and also trying to get a better deal for the screen extras and some of the actors. Ronald Reagan was very active. He took the spearhead of the opposition, and he was, for the time, I don't think he was president of the Guild then, the Screen Actors Guild, but he was the driving force, Ben. So when I turned rat before the before HUAC, I got a wire from Reagan congratulating me, you know. And of course, the irony is that it's the one thing I've done in my life that I'm categorically ashamed of, you know, because you're not a stool pigeon, and I did it because I was weak, you know. And I've learned as the year, it bothered the hell out of me for a long time.
Why, you just didn't want to go to jail? Was that why you did?
Yeah, that was part of it. Yeah, because I've never been partial to jail. I'm not partial to confinement of any description.
How did you ever get on? I want to go back to communism, but if you hate regimentation, how the hell did you survive in the Marine Corps?
Well, again, it appeared, it's that macho thing. At the time, I'd been to sea for a long time before I went to Hollywood. And I often asked myself, well, why did I go to sea? Well, in some, I think, beautiful way for me, I loved it. I loved the world of the sailing ship. But I also loved the challenge of it, the fact that it was more or less unique. I used to watch people even when I was a kid, growing up in New Jersey. I used to watch men go to work. Colleagues of my father, up and down the block, you know, they go in the 723, they come back in the 518, they have 2 weeks a year off. And I remember when I was no more than 7, I thought, now, wait a minute, you know, there's got to be more than this. You know? And so that was what the sea did. That was what the sea meant to me. And in the Marine Corps, in the way, if you're going to go to war, why go, you know? And as somebody said, the Army doesn't know what the hell it's doing, and the Navy doesn't know what the hell it's doing, but the Marine Corps sure as hell knows what it's doing.
Well, that's always
in a way, there's a lot in
the
that,
elite.
You know?
The elite.
And even if it's not true, if you're going to have to fight, you might as well feel that way. But I quickly maneuvered myself into a rather comfortable position because I got out of the line outfits, you know. I didn't go out to the Pacific. I got with the OSS, and well, you can make it sound glamorous, and I did that in my first book. But the idea was, I remember one New Year's Eve or Christmas party on the coast of Yugoslavia where there was a team of us, British, Scotsmen, Royal Marine Commandos, U.S., and we had a rather sentimental Christmas, and we toasted each other. And my immediate commanding officer likened the whole way we were working, operating, fighting to the guerrilla thing of 1776. You know, it had that, you know, anyway.
Back to communism for a second. When I was working out in L.A. back in the early 60s, there was a woman named Dorothy Healy.
Yeah.
who was the head of the Southern California Communist Party, the branch of the American Communist Party out there, and she wanted to make a talk. They had booked her to make a talk, as I recall, at LACC in East Los Angeles Community College, City College. And the hue and cry about this woman coming onto a campus to make a talk ultimately was canceled.
Well, those days were a form of madness, you know.
I have never been able to understand how those people who did not want her to make the talk, and I am not a communist, I believe in this country, and she says she believes in it too, okay? You take young men and women who are 19, 20, 21 years old, who have been schooled in America since they were 6, have read the histories, have had some chance to make comparative analysis now at the college level between political systems in their science courses, how by exposing them to a communist for 45 minutes is going to so pervert their sense of reality and belief that they will cast aside all they have learned after hearing one woman or man make a talk for 30 minutes. It's crazy.
No, it was madness. It was madness. A tragic time, too. A lot of people got hurt. My God, a lot of people got hurt. I heard a couple of people. Because when I named names, people got fired.
Sure. There was a blacklist, wasn't there?
Oh, gosh, yes.
Because Roy Cohn was here one night after they did the thing on McCarthy on the television network, and Roy came in, a very bright man and a very perceptive man. He said, well, the blacklist was a figment of everybody's imagination.
Oh, no,
There was
no, not at all. Not at all, not at all. Bad time. Yeah. Yeah. You were saying?
I'm just watching you. I'm just watching you, thinking that through. We will continue with Mr. Sterling Hayden after these words from our sponsors.